Hi everyone, today I'll be showing you how to push a project to a GitHub repository. So the first thing, we need to understand what Git is, and we talk of Git being a web-based platform that facilitates collaborative software development using Git. It's a service as a central hub for version control, enables teams to track changes, manage projects, and work on code together. So in today's video, we are going to learn how to push a project from the beginning to the end. Right. So the first thing that we need to have is a GitHub account, and we create one from github.com. So this is where we create an account. So we have quite a number of options here, but we are interested in just signing up. So if you don't have an account, just click on this sign up. Then you are going to be taken through on how to create an account. Alright, so if you have an existing account, just sign in and start from that point. Alright, so I already have an account and I've already logged into my account. This is how it looks like. Probably yours might be different if it's a new one. So once you are in this stage, we need to create a new repository. So the way to create a new repository, just click on this new button, this one. Alright, so in the new repository page, we have a number of fields to fill in. So for the template, we do not have to select any template. Then for the repository name, we need to give a unique name to our repository. This name must not exist within this account. So let me try to let me come up with a name that should be let me call it tutorial web. So it should be a unique name. As you can see, it's available. Otherwise, if I used a name that is already existing, then it would have shown that the name is not available. Alright, so just check for a name that is unique within your account. Alright, so the next thing, then we have a description. This is where you just try to explain what your project is all about, but then this field is optional. You're not going to select anything. Then we also have these options where you select that whether you want your repository to be accessed by anyone or it's just for you or those that you choose. So for this case, we are going to leave it as it is, so that we want everyone on the internet to see the repository. Right. Then we also have these options. We are being required to add a readme file. So this is the file that will contain extensive information about your project. This may be a procedure on how to go about cloning your project or working with whatever code that you'll be uploading. So we are also not going to add that at this stage. So we also have this file called git ignore. So this is to tell Git which files not to be committed together with your project files. So for instance, you may be having some temporary files that are only required in development. You may be having some build artifacts that you do not want to push along with your code. So we are just going to leave these as default. Then we have the license. So selecting a license defines how others can use, modify, and distribute your project. So for this case, we do not have to select anything here, but you can see we have a list of the licenses. So for now, we're just going to leave it as it is. Then just proceed and create a repository. Alright, so once we do that, we have a list of commands that can be used to commit our project. So with me here, I have some website files that I want us to push to the repository that we just created. These are the files. Right, we are going to see how to go about that. So for this, we are given the commands that we can use to push our project here, but if we follow this as a yarn, we are going to realize that at some point we will encounter some errors. This is because GitHub changed how users are authenticated and given the privilege to commit changes on GitHub repositories. So the workaround to that is creating an authentication token, and the way to do that, so we need to click on this icon. This should be your username, right? Then just scroll to the settings section. I'm going to open it on a new tab, right? In this profile page, I need to scroll down up to this section where we have developer settings. Just click on that, right? Then we have these drop down personal access tokens. Click on that. Then we have tokens, these the second option. So we are going to work with the second option. Click on that. Then on this drop down, just click on that and select this second option, generate new token classic. All right, so we are also going to give our personal access token a name. This is denoted by the note, so let's just name it access token, nothing much. Then here you can define the number of days that you want the token to be active. So I'm just going to leave it at 30 days. Then we need to select the scope. We have quite a number of privilege levels that we have here, but for the purposes of just being able to commit changes to our repository, we are going to work with this one. However, you can give all the privileges, no harm, but for this scope, we are just going to be working with this one. So scroll down and click generate token. Alright, so within seconds our token has been generated. So this is the token that we are going to authenticate ourselves to this GitHub repository. Right, so what we need to do, we need to navigate back to our project, rather the location where we have our project files. Then we need to open the terminal here. To open the terminal here, just right click, then there is this option of open in terminal. So for those operating on Windows, once you navigate to the location where you have your website files, if you just click on this bar here, it should be editable. Then you can type in CMD and press on enter. Alright, so once you have access to either the command prompt or the terminal, then you can proceed with the rest of the commands that we have here. Right, so let us just have it as it is. So the first thing we need to echo this. This will create a readme file, the one that we would have created when creating the repository. So let us create it here. Alright, then we need to initialize this git. So just do git init. Right, so the next thing will be to add all our files. So in this case, we are being told to add only the readme file, but we need to add all our website files. So what we need to do, we need to have git add, just add a full stop. So that means add all the files. Right, then we proceed to do git commit. So let us just copy this. Right, so we did that. Then the next thing will be to do this git branch master, that is to declare the branch that is the default branch, which is the master branch. All right, so once we do that, we do not need to proceed to this other stage, because this will throw an error. So what we need to do, this is where now we are going to use our personal access token. Remember, once this token was generated, it's only you need to have this copied to some locations, otherwise it will not be shown again. Just like we have a message here, make sure to copy your personal access token now. You won't be able to see it again. So we are just going to leave this window open. Otherwise, if you happen to lose this token having not saved, you can always generate a new one. We have a command that we are going to use to add our remote repository. So this is the command that we are going to use, and we are going to replace some of the information that we have. Right, so some of the information, one of them is the username. So this is my GitHub username. So in your case, replace this with your username. Then this other part is for the personal token that we have just generated. So navigate back to this page and copy this personal token. So replace what is there with the current one. Then the other thing that we need to change is this part. So remember, this is also the username to your GitHub account. So replace this with your username. Then for this other part, we need to replace it with what we have here. Alright, so the command should be, so what we need to have is that we need to have git remote add origin. Then we need to paste this command, or rather this link here. Alright, so once we declare the origin, then the next thing should be to push our files to the master branch that we declared in a previous command. So what we need to have is we need to have git push your origin, then master. Sorry, we have push, I missed on P, right? Then just give it some time to complete pushing the files. Alright, so depending with the size of the files that you are pushing, it may take a bit of time. So in my case, took about a minute. So if I navigate back to my repository, then reload, then I'm able to see that all my files have been pushed to this repository. This is what we have. Alright, so if we happen to do some changes, say I add a new file. So for those working on Linux, we can have touch, just talk of new file .html. So that creates a new file named new file.html. So for those on Windows, you can just navigate to this location. This is what we created. You can right click and there should be a new file. Just open the notepad or any other file and try to save that file as HTML or any other file. We just need to have some changes to this folder. Right, so once we create a new file, we want to see how you can update that new file to the repository. So the way to do that, we need to do git add. So here you can mention the specific name of the file, which is new file, or if you have added some other multiple files or made changes, say to about us or any of the files here, so just have the dot that we used previously. then enter. Right, then the next thing will be to do git commit, need an m, then we say added a new file. Alright, so we see that one file changed. Right, so the next thing will be git push origin master, and that will push the new file that we just created. So if you reload, you should see the new file and with the message that we added. So this applies to the changes you could have made to any of these files. And that's simply how to push a project on your GitHub repository. And that marks the end of this video. If you found this video helpful, ensure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, share this video with others, give this video a thumbs up, and also drop a comment of your experience in the comment section below. See you in the next video. Bye bye.